Welcome to day 2 of the pre-conference sessions of the Rotary District Conference 7030 hybrid format. And a very special welcome to my wonderful co-host, Judy Deterville. Judy, I'm really sorry that you missed the first 2 days of the conference. As I said earlier, we had an explosive start from our district governor-elect, and we are in this Rotary relay of trying to do good for our community. How do you feel about Rotary today?
Well, let me just sort of backtrack a little bit and to steal your word explosive, no pun intended, in the environment that we're in presently. I feel wonderful. I feel really wonderful. Given especially that we're speaking in many languages across the district, that is really historical. And we're in a time for making history in so many different ways about so many different things. And service, by no less, means that we want to create impact as well with people, in people's lives, for people.
Very interesting, and we are very happy to have you with us from today and for the other days of the conference. On Monday, we heard about what Rotaract is doing in our district and the ways in which Rotary and Rotaract can work well together. How is that going in your club?
There's always room for growth, I believe, in every club, as I'm sure our fellow listeners, viewers will attest to. We're working hard with our Rotaractors, and the young people are full of ideas. The new year is coming. The young new president is starting off and trying to get his feet wet and on the ground to land comfortably so that he can really grab the position, the stage for creating service and differences in people's lives. And it's all a go. It's a women.
Rotaractors are very important to Rotary. So yesterday we had a landmark event. We had the first virtual fireside chat in District 7030, and past President Liz from Guyana and past President Virginia from Suriname took us on the journey of Rotary from 1916, which started Rotary off in the Caribbean in Cuba. And we learned a lot about the avenues of service and the focus areas of Rotary. We also drilled down into the childhood obesity projects that are taking place in our district. And we learned a lot yesterday about how important it is with our young people to pay attention to childhood obesity. What are your views on that?
Obesity in my mind is linked to diabetes and juvenile diabetes or diabetes in children. So, and across the region, that is an issue. In the world, that is an issue. So if it is that Rotary can, like the work it has done with polio, across people, across the spectrum, create a dent in the business of obesity and diabetes for children across the region, then our work is only, I don't want to say our work is done because the work is never done, but certainly again, we've created some impact and changed people's lives for the better.
A very important area for Rotary to pay attention. So today we are going to focus on peace and membership, and tomorrow we'll be looking at the environment. So buckle up, set your Zoom to speaker view for the best conference experience. Use the chat to make comments, say which country you're from, say what club you're from, and interact with your colleagues and even Rotarians that you've never met. And let's make this district conference the best that we can in this hybrid environment. With these words, I'm pleased to pass the microphone over to Assistant Governor-elect Brian Ramatali, I hope I pronounced that correctly, who will be introducing our peace speakers for this evening. Over to you, Brian. Thank you very much, Judy.
All protocols observed. Good evening, everyone. I have the honor to introduce 2 speakers on peace tonight. I would start with our District 7030 Peace Chair, Debbie Rupchan. Rotarian Debbie Rupchan is the Assistant Governor for the South Cluster Cubs of Trinidad and Tobago for her 3rd consecutive year. She's the Rotary District Peace Fellowship Subcommittee Chair and the Chair of the District 7030 Peace Committee. Debbie is an attorney at law engaged in private practice since 2009 at the law firm of Ernest H. Coilas and Company. She is a registered attorney on the legal aid panel and gives generously of her time through legal aid clinics at Rotary outreach projects and through her practice. AG Debbie is well known for wearing the Rotary Peace Pin. She has been a Rotarian since 2011. She served as president for the year 2016 to 2017. AG Debbie currently serves on the district member committee as the Innovative Club advocate for the district. She is a Paul Harris Fellow +8 and a member of the Paul Harris Society. AG Debbie has been exposed to conflict on almost a daily basis, leading to a greater appreciation of the importance of peace and the peaceful resolution of disputes. She is a keen disciple of the teachings of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., known for his employment of non-violent, peaceful resistance to bring about change. During her presidential year, she focused on peace and conflict resolution and spearheaded her Rotary Club's hosting of a major celebration of UN World Peace Day in collaboration with the mayor of the city of San Fernando and the Mediation Board of Trinidad and Tobago, titled A Call for Peace. The event culminated with the prayerful unveiling of a peace pole planted in a prominent visible location of the San Fernando City Hall. A Call for Peace, who was also a recognition of the need for a greater focus on peace and peace building within the city, and was the introduction of AG Debbie's passion and journey in promoting peace. Our next speaker, Reem Gunam. Reem is the Executive Director of the Rotary Action Group for Peace based in Portland, Oregon. She is a positive peace activator and a Global Peace Index ambassador for the Institute of Economics and Peace. Reem started in Rotary as a Rotary actor in Palestine. Later, she earned a Rotary Peace Fellowship at Duke UNC Rotary Peace Center, a master's degree in city and regional planning, and a certificate in international peace and conflict resolution. She is now a Rotarian at the Portland Rotary Club. Reem serves on the boards of several international organizations: Rotary Club of Portland Hands of Peace, Combatants for Peace, and Peace Village. Reem has provided leadership through several international projects and events. In 2018, she served on the organizing committee of the Environmental Sustainability and Peace Conference, one of the Rotary International's 6 presidential peace conferences addressed by the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. She led the growth of the RAGFP Peace Builder Club program from 22 clubs in the Pacific Northwest to over 270 clubs in 30 nations in less than 3 years. Reem is currently co-organizing the Rotary Peace Project Incubator, a gathering that aims to produce 40 international sustainable peace projects. She co-designed the 2020 Middle East Peace Education Trip to establish an experience for international audience to create a fair understanding of the challenges and opportunities for peace in Israel and Palestine. She developed the Active Positive Peace Workbook and is a creator and host of the weekly Together for Peace webinar series. Reem is an advocate for human rights, an international public speaker, and a thought leader who has spoken at Harvard, Brown, and Columbia universities, among several other organizations, to support peaceful resolution in the Middle East. Her mission is to dismantle stereotypes and elevate the voices of the oppressed by cultivating mutual understanding, promoting positive peace, and protecting human rights for all. Fellow Rotarians, we have 2 amazing speakers tonight. Their full bios are available on the app. I now invite Peace Chair Debbie Ripchan to present to you. Debbie.
Thank you, Brian, for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. I want to thank each and every one of you on the call tonight for joining our presentation. Many of the faces I've seen at our committee's sessions on peace during the Rotary year, and I thank you for your ongoing support, interest, and keen involvement in promoting peace. Let me start by introducing the members of our District 7030 Peace Committee. Rotaractor Stephanie Buckley of Aruba. Rotarian Marguerite Van Dijk Nushaya of Suriname. Rotarian Brian Ramatali of Trinidad, Rotarian Christine Charlot of French Guyana, our one and only Peace Fellow in District 7030, Rotarian Carlotta Budi Walcott of Guyana, Rotarian Heather Tull of Barbados. These are the peacekeepers who have worked diligently during the Rotary year to promote peace within our district. And I take this opportunity to say a big thank you to my team who continue to inspire me daily to carry on the work for promoting peace in our district. I say too a special thank you to District Governor Lyle Chase for recognizing the importance of peace building and conflict prevention as an area of focus and initiating the setting up of a peace committee in District 7030. DG Lyle himself is passionate about peace, and on behalf of our committee, I wish to express our sincere thanks to DG Lyle for his guidance, his encouragement, his unwavering support of our work during this Rotary year. And I know that District Governor-elect Sonia Lane is 100% on board with our committee's work, and so too DG and Leslie Ramdani. They too have been present and supportive of all our initiatives and events during the Rotary year. I now recap some of the activities that our committee has been involved in. On the 20th of July, we hosted our first peace building session with Summer Lewis, the coordinator for the Rotary Institute of Economics and Peace Partnership. Summer is a Peace Fellow of the University of Queensland. She presented on the Rotary and IEP's partnership at that particular meeting, and coming out of it, she would have shared with us very useful materials through the partnership on positive peace, and in particular the Positive Peace Academy. And I know for a fact, because I attended one or two clubs' presentations where they actually went on to use the materials. Summer was no stranger to our district. She attended more than one session throughout the year. Our second peace building session took place on the 22nd of August, 2020. Again, a district-wide session. And I should say that we have had no session where there has been less than 100 members showing up in the district to join the Peace Committee. This session featured the Executive Director of New Gen Peace Builders, Patricia Schaefer. Patricia presented on building a culture of peace, putting principles of positive peace and young people at the center of a global dream. At that time, we were looking at doing a project with New Gen Peace Builders across the district. Unfortunately, our committee was not able to raise the 60,000+ US that project would have cost us. That inability didn't stop us, however. Through New Gen Peace Builders, our committee was later able to have 6 Rotaract clubs participate in a Rotaract Positive Peace Training Initiative in 2021, initiated through a global grant by Zones 30 and 31. The Positive Peace Training kicked off virtually on the 22nd of February 2021 and is scheduled to wrap up at the end of May. The training that has been undertaken by these 6 Rotaract clubs has a focus on hunger. All of these 6 clubs have had to partner with nonprofit organizations locally to do the training. Coming out of this project, we are going to have at least 6 peace projects within the district with a focus on hunger, and over 30 participants trained Rotaractors in terms of executing peace building projects. The clubs who are participating have had the opportunity to meet and interact with Rotaractors from zones 30 and 31. And at the end of the training, the Peace Committee, we intend to hold a district presentation so you can see more as to what has actually taken place during the training. For my part, I can say that I've kept abreast of the training, and I continue to be inspired by the energy and the enthusiasm of the Rotaractors who have been participating. And I want to take the opportunity here just to highlight those 6 clubs and to share with you a brief sort of snapshot as to the projects they are doing. The Rotary Club of Mount Hope Peace Builder team. You see them on screen. This club partnered with the Shaw Foundation as its nonprofit partner for the training, and they are working on a peace project that is aimed towards alleviating hunger in North Trinidad. Their project is going to focus on a single root cause of hunger. They would be engaging in the distribution of seeds for planting, either for subsistence or commercial growth within their community. Their project is also going to involve proper education on resources that are accessible and can assist persons in growing crops successfully and sustainably. Our second Rotary Peace Builder Club, the Rotary Club of Pinal. This club is the youngest Rotary club in the district, receiving its charter in 2020, and is predominantly comprised of former interactors. They too have partnered with the Shaw Foundation, and their project is centered around mangrove deterioration in Trinidad and analyzing the dependence of persons in their community on the mangroves in South Trinidad for food. Their project would zero in on improving the state of the mangroves and the ecosystem. The partnership between the Rotary Clubs of Marabal and Central Port of Spain. These clubs have combined under the description a peace for Port of Spain. The Rotary Clubs of Marabal and Central Port of Spain, they are collaborating with the Love Until Foundation to engage a minimum of 10 families in the Love Until community. And for those of you familiar with the Love Until community, you will know that it is a very tough community in Trinidad and the environs, and to assist in the establishment of skills banks and agricultural programs, which would include home garden grow boxes and eventually communal grow boxes, which will also develop the vocational skills of the residents, provide fresh food options while facilitating business opportunities to benefit the community through long-term sales. This will in the long term render the community more self-sufficient while sharing the economic benefits among its constituents. The goal of their project is to provide access to nutritious food for residents on a regular basis and to aid in the realization of sustainable and good living. A piece of Port of Spain will also work with the Love Until Foundation to provide agricultural training for residents, along with the materials they need to start their own home gardens, such as the grow boxes, soil, and seedlings for short-term crops. The Rotary Club of San Fernando South. This club recognized that poverty and the economic turnover intensified with the arrival of COVID-19 had drastically impacted certain areas in South Trinidad, making persons more susceptible and experiencing hunger, particularly those who are from low-income households. The club, alongside with the Franciscan Institute, are collaborating on a hunger alleviation project aimed to promote self-sustainability within the community to assist with food security. They intend, firstly, to have a workshop on imparting the basic skills on how to care for crops, and then to go on to provide families with a grow-it-yourself package containing sweet peppers, hot peppers, different short crop items, which would, in the long run, help them to promote fertilization and growth. One of the aims of that project is to ensure that there's a circular flow of income so that the produce is harvested and can be sold and the profits reinvested within the community. The Rotary Club of San Fernando. This club was inactive over the last few years, and in December of 2020, through the efforts of President Dina Bainey, the club was revived with a team of former interactors who joined the club and willingly participated in this project. They have partnered with the Franciscan Institute as their nonprofit partner under the philosophy, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Sustainability is the weapon that this club would be using to battle hunger at the rural community of Cotton Hill in Gasparilla, Trinidad. Their intention is to create a community garden where each family will have ownership of a single plant bed. They will work alongside with the villagers, as well as professional gardeners to set up the garden. They also aim to construct a compost bin and rainwater harvesting systems as a free means of increasing the soil fertility and hence the quality and quantity of the produce. This project will offer the villagers a long-term supply of food for their families. Also, they will be able to earn a source of income by selling some of the produce at local markets. The club sees this project as being suited to the particular community as they are very agricultural based and innovative in the face of hunger and poverty. Their project is about sustainability as compared to giving a hamper, which would only last a few months at most, depending on the size. So that is an overview of the current projects that are being undertaken by these 6 Rotary clubs. As I continue my review of the committee's work, in September 2020, we had a great celebration of the International Day of Peace in District 7030. Our special guest feature speaker for the afternoon was Rotary International's Director, Peter Kyle, who spoke on the topic of Rotary's historical role as a peace-building organization. It was also the premiere of the Heal the World video, which those of you who logged on earlier this afternoon would have seen, a video that was specially created with the Early Act kids from South Trinidad, as well as the interactors linked to the Rotary Club of Pinal. The Rotary Club of Pinal, I should tell you, is the first peace builder club through the Rag for Peace in District 7030, and they have been doing a phenomenal amount of work in peace building. At that session, we showcased the first quarter projects within the district, and we also showcased, we had time for only one presentation by the Presentation College Interact Club, a video on peace. There were many videos and a lot of different peace initiatives which were done by the interactors during the month of September to celebrate World Peace Day, but unfortunately I cannot showcase them all. The next project our committee was involved in was Peace by Peace and Peace and Me. Peace by Peace was an interfaith dialogue on promoting peace within Trinidad and Tobago, hosted by the Rotary Club of San Fernando South. I represented our committee at this session, which involved other religious leaders, and I presented on Rotary's role and history in peacekeeping. Peace and Me was an art and essay competition that was hosted on peace by the Rotary Club of San Fernando South. There was one entrant for the art competition, Ariella Rupnarain, and you'll see her beautiful art piece on screen, which would have won the prize, well, titled Peace is Where My Father Is. In relation to the essay competition, our committee was very privileged to be asked to judge the essay competition. It was an eye-opening experience for me and my members. All the essays that we read were unique, and they showed us the sort of passion and the thoughts and thinking of our young people in relation to peace. And you'll see on screen the 2 winners there, Vanessa Carvalho. She came in first with her essay titled Peace in the Violence, and Alyssa Ramkisoon came in second with hers titled An Individual Perspective on Peace. By December, for many of us across the district, COVID-19 and the restrictions that came with it was taking a mental toll on us, and District Governor Lyle reached out to our committee to do something to lift the spirits in the district. We hosted a celebration of peace, love, and joy at Christmas. Our own committee member, Carlotta Budi, presented on mental health and depression at this session, which also featured popular comedian Errol Fabian. And we had special performances by vocalist Wendy Shepherd and panelist Kyle Ali. This session lifted our spirits and brought a close to the first half of the Rotary year. January, we were on the ground again, and this time assisting with Ryla. In January 2021, our Peace Committee member, Carlotta, gave support by presenting on creating peaceful spaces at the district Ryla session. In February, we hosted the celebration of Rotary's 116th birthday. At this special session, our district governor, Lyle, delivered a special birthday message to all the members of the district who attended. And our very own Peace Committee member, Christine Charlot, only Peace Fellow in District 7030, she presented on her journey as a Peace Fellow and shared with us how to apply for the Rotary Peace Fellowship Program. We also took the opportunity at that session to showcase the peace projects that had been done across the district up until that point in time of the year. I want to touch briefly on the Peace Centers program. Just a reminder that applications for the 2022 Peace Fellowship are open. Our late past district governor, Hervé Honoré, during his term as district governor, had put in place our district becoming a Peace Builder district so that we could qualify for the Peace Fellows program. And he was also instrumental in recruiting Christine Charlot, our Peace Fellow. The Rotary Peace Centers, for those of you who may not have seen our presentation in February, offers a fully funded master's program and certificate program in Peace and Development Studies at one of 7 peace centers located at leading universities around the world. Applications for the program close on the 15th of May 2021. To all our Rotaractors who are on the call, I remind you that you are eligible to apply for the program. There's still time to apply, and for our Rotarians, while it is Rotarians are not eligible for the program, if you know anyone who can be a good candidate for the Peace Fellowship program, please encourage them to apply. It is one of the goals of our committee to increase the number of Rotary Peace Fellows within District 7030. The Rotarian Action Group for Peace, Peace Builder Clubs. Well, you know that we have Reem Gunaim, the Executive Director of the RAG for Peace, with us tonight. And later in the presentation, Reem and I will talk more about Peace Builder Clubs. I just want to record that in District 7030, we have 3 peace building clubs. Pinal, which as I said was the first club, and then the Rotary Clubs of Central, Port of Spain, and the Rotary Club of Maraval, who both received their certificate in October 2020. For those of you who attended PETS Day 2, you would have seen in District Governor-elect Sonia's presentation on the goals that it is a goal to increase our impact by becoming peace builder clubs. And like I said, you will be hearing more very shortly on that. Our Give Peace a Chance initiative. This is the brainchild of our committee member, Heather. In March, we worked on a beautiful video, which was launched on Saturday, giving full details of the Give Peace a Chance initiative. For those of you who missed it, I saw on the conference app this morning that the video is now live, so I encourage you to look at it on YouTube. I also remind that the District Peace Committee, we have a dedicated page on the district website for peace. It is called A Place for Peace. And if you go on the page, you would see the rules of the competition out there. The first prize is $1,000 US. The second prize is $500 US. And it is a wonderful initiative to encourage our Interact, Rotaract, and Rotary clubs to come together and participate in terms of giving peace a chance in District 7030. So that's just a recap of all the different activities we have been involved in for this year. Before I invite Reem to speak about the initiatives that we are looking at to do in conjunction with the RAG for Peace, I want to share with you a special video clip that Reem has produced on peace being a mindset. So I invite you to sit back and enjoy this.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Peace Builders. Hello, Rotarians. If you're listening, welcome to you. My name is Reem, and I am the Executive Director of the Rotary Action Group for Peace. I'm a Rotary Peace Fellow from Palestine, and I am so honored. I'm so happy, and my heart is filled with joy joining you in this presentation. And today, I would love to deliver to you a message that peace building is a mindset that requires our attention, requires our focus, requires our commitment and dedication to cultivate, to grow, to strengthen. And I'd like to share a few stories with you because peace is a journey that we cultivate on a daily basis and with all the beautiful and amazing people we meet throughout our lives. So I hope you will enjoy the stories and the messages that I will share with you. I grew up in Palestine, and there I learned from the beauty of the olive trees. They are covering the Palestinian hills. I learned from the greenness of the olive tree and the resilience of the olive tree. I also learned the hope from the olive trees and the belief that peace is possible. I also learned about the people who cared for the Palestinian trees and the beauty of the community that was cultivated around the olive trees and the culture. It was just a beautiful experience to learn about the humanity of Palestinians and how the olive tree defined that and defined peace for me and for them. At the same time, I also learned from the harshness of the oppression and the militarization that existed and surrounded us. I grew up in a town, a small city called Tulkarem, and in Tulkarem there's 2 refugee camps. One that is at the entrance of my city. I experience it every time I go to visit my parents and my family. And there is one at the center of the city that I've experienced every day going to high school. And I was reminded of the refugees in our Palestinian cities and abroad. I also experienced the humiliation on the checkpoints and so much more. So witnessing both extremes, the beauty of the olive tree and the harshness of oppression, allowed me to understand that peace sometimes can be inspired and sometimes is how can we react to a situation. And with that understanding, I started my journey of exploring the various methods of how to cultivate peace inside of myself and to my broader community. One day, I have witnessed the image, the powerful image of an old Palestinian woman farmer who was hugging her olive tree that was uprooted. And behind her, there was the military jeep and the Israeli soldiers who witnessed her agony. And that image has always haunted me. And I came to my mom and I asked her, "Mom, I'm trying to make sense of this craziness of the oppression. Please let me understand, why do they kill us? Why they uproot our olive trees? Why they destroy our homes?" And my mom said, yes, they can do all of that. They can destroy our homes, they can kill us, but they can't break our spirit. She looked at me and she said, no one can destroy your heart or mind, only if you let them. And in that moment, I understood what true freedom is. Each time we say no to the bullies, each time we say no to the oppressors, we resist and we don't accept their definition of who we are. And each time we say no, we make the choice to be resilient and thrive in our true being, thrive on who we truly are, and define our journey forward. So that was what I learned from my mom's words towards me in that moment. One day when I was 9 or 8 years old, at that time I didn't know how to speak English yet or read English. And I went to my dad's medical library and I picked the only book written in Arabic. And I opened the book, and in the first page, I saw in noble Arabic script the Hippocratic Oath. And I started reading the Hippocratic Oath. And the Arabic translation said that the poison in the hand of a doctor is to heal and not to harm. The knife in the hand of a doctor is to heal and not to harm. And the Arabic translation went on to say that if an enemy soldier fell and was injured, that the doctor has to attend to help him or her. And so I was confused, and I went to my dad and I asked him, would you help an enemy soldier? Would you help an Israeli soldier? And my dad said without hesitation, yes. In that moment, I was confused. So I asked my dad, why would you help an enemy soldier? And he said, because it's my duty to help him as a doctor. In that moment, the soldier has become a patient. And in that moment, I realized that we have to make the choice to choose between right and wrong. And if we think about this story, if my dad answered me if my dad's answer to me was a no, in that one moment, my dad would have turned from a healer into a murderer. This is the power between the choices we make every day. It sometimes can be the difference between life and death. And in that moment, I realized the power of every choice I make, every word I say, every thought I project, and every action I take. In that moment, I realized that we all have the choice between love and hate, between anger and compassion, between collaboration and competitiveness, between forgiveness and being vindictive. We all have these choices every day at any scale. So what choice do we make? In that moment, my dad helped me realize that peace is a choice, and peace is only possible if we choose the right answer. And the right answer resides in love, resides in truth, and resides in fairness and humanity. So what is the lesson from all these stories? Why I'm sharing with you about those lessons from my experience growing up in Palestine. The lesson is peace is a mindset. And this peace mindset is similar to a muscle. This muscle can only be developed if we do the counterintuitive move. For example, if we go to the gym and we want to build a healthier life, build our muscles, lose weight, we can do that without sweating, without losing our breath, without traveling miles and miles and miles on the treadmill, and sometimes having to choose between a healthy diet and a bad diet. So in the same sense, we develop a mindset of peace when we make the choices that are counterintuitive, that are hard, that are not so obvious. For us to make those choices, it requires us to step back, to reflect, to assess our emotions, to seek the truth, to seek understanding. Instead of accusing one another, we need to seek to understand. And that is where the opportunity to develop a mindset of peace is present and available at every corner of our day, at any moment in our day. How do you choose to respond to a rude person on the phone? How do you choose to respond to an insult? How do you respond to adversaries? Do you respond by reacting to them in the same way? Or do you take the counterintuitive move and seek to understand, seek to have a dialogue, seek to have compassion for them? So this is what I learned from growing up in Palestine. But I am so lucky and I'm so thankful and grateful to be learning from the world every single day when I work at the Rotary Action Group for Peace as their executive director, and receive the stories from our members in 125 nations. Stories of resilience, stories of hope, stories of actions for peace. Do you remember when I said that peace building is like building a muscle? Every rep in the gym counts and every peace action counts. And our members around the world prove that every single day. One of the highlights of my last few months is we created a virtual open house event, and we've invited all of our members from around the world to celebrate Rotary's 116th birthday and the month of peace and conflict resolution in Rotary. So they came united in peace action. And one of the people who showed up at the last hour of our virtual open house that lasted for 8 hours is a member with the name Gopal from Nepal. And he was there in the presence of other peace builders and other members. And at some point, I was going around the room and asking people to introduce themselves, asking them about their peace actions. And I asked Gopal to introduce himself. So, and he was quiet. He was just there listening carefully. And I was curious to hear from him. So he introduced himself, and he said that he lived in a remote village in Nepal. And he had to travel 6 hours to another city to have access to the internet, to be joining us in this celebration of peace. That deeply touched my heart. I took a moment, I was trying hard to hold my tears, knowing about his commitment to peace. It was so inspiring to me and so humbling. So I went on to ask him, Gopal, do you have a dream for your community? Do you have a dream for peace for your community? And his face lit up and he said, yes, my dream is to have a peace park for my community in that village in Nepal. And this peace park, and he started describing his peace park. This peace park will look over Mount Everest, and it will have children and women and people in the community come together, celebrate, communicate, and just join one another in a place of peace, reminded of peace. And it was just a beautiful dream. So I carry Gopal's dream in my heart. And I know in the Rotary Action Group for Peace network, we have many beautiful dreams for peace. And our responsibility is to make these dreams come true by offering the support, by offering the connections, by offering the messages and the education to help them serve their communities and be the peace actors and take the peace actions that they need to take every day to make our world more peaceful. If I were to leave you today with one message, it is for you to believe in the power that every one of you has to bring peace to yourself, to your community, to your environment. And you have that power at every moment of every day, at each action you take. Ask yourself this question: what is the choice I'm making? What am I saying yes to? What am I saying no to? Is it a choice between fear or love? Is it a choice between hate and love? Is it a choice between anger and love? And I would love to end with my favorite quote of Rotary International's founder and the first Rotarian. The wise words of Paul Harris resonates true with me, and I hope that they will resonate true with you. He said, personality has the power to uplift, the power to depress, the power to curse, and the power to bless. So, what power do you want to bring to our world? I pray and I hope that you will bring the power of peace, uplift and bless people with every action, with every word, with every thought. And I know you can because you follow the four-way test. And in Rotary, that is our test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Is it beneficial to all concerned? Will it bring goodwill and friendship? Thank you so much. Live by peace, live by the four-way test, and live by service above self.
Thank you, Reem, for that inspirational video presentation. I saw in the chat box the comments, excellent. It brought tears to my eye. And I think that it's clear to everyone on the call why we have actually chosen to partner with the Rotary Action Group for Peace and with Reem and going forward and promoting peace in our district. At this point, I would like to hand over to Reem so she can go live and talk about two actions that the committee would be looking at with her in the upcoming year. One relates to a social media platform for peace, and the other is with respect to all clubs in District 7030 becoming Peace Builder clubs. So Reem, I hand over the floor to you at this time.
So much, everybody, for your support and love and beautiful comments. I was a little bit tired before I showed up, but your energy is contagious, and now I'm feeling very excited to share with you about our call to actions for peace. So let me share the screen and share with you the presentation. So I hope this inspiration that we can live with actions, because like I said in the presentation, every action counts, and you all seem to resonate with this. So Debbie and I and District Governor Lyle and all the amazing organizers of this conference decided on two actions that would be interesting for your district to lead. So together with District 7030, we would like to collaborate and bring a workshop called Social Media, a Platform for Peace. And I will tell you about this a little bit more in the second slide. The second action is, call to action is for you to join our Global Peace Builder Clubs network that Debbie referred to earlier in her presentation. So I would like to describe to you what is the social media with the workshop that we'd like to bring. This social media workshop addresses the issue of social media as an avoidable aspect of our everyday lives. How can we use the various, and answers the question of how can we use the various social media platforms to create powerful vehicles for peace? And giving the amazing energy you have with the Rotary actors that Debbie mentioned, I feel that we can create a lot of impact with this. So the workshop would allow the participants to go and leave with three takeaways. The first one is to be able to assess the positive and peaceful features of social media. So you will be able to look at your phone or your computer or your apps and be able to identify the opportunities for peace there. And the second takeaway is learn from successful peace builders on social media. So we will look at models of peace builders and peace influencers and learn from them. What did they do to create a following of peace builders? And the third takeaway is to cultivate ideas with peers and create campaigns for peace. And that is to bring your community, the people who take the workshop and their peers, and co-create ideas and solutions using social media at the workshop, and leave with that concrete action after the workshop. So these are the 3 takeaways. So I want us to imagine if social media fees was filled of those of the Rotary actors in District 7030, and if all the Rotary actors and all the Rotarians has become peace influencers online. So imagine that. Imagine the impact that all of us can bring by all of us taking the right action on our social media. So with that, I'd like you to leave you with this invitation to join the social media, a platform for peace workshop that we will be collaborating with District 7030 on. Please spread the word. For those who didn't join us today, let them know that this workshop is upcoming, and invite all the Rotary actors in the district to participate. So the second call to action, so that was the first. The second call to action is related to joining the Peace Builder Clubs, the global network. As you can see, here's the map that shows the network as of today. Currently, we have over 270 clubs. We have 800 Peace Committee members who are leading this Peace Builder Club network. And we have those Peace Builder Clubs spread in over 30 nations. So what is the Peace Builder Club network? The Peace Builder Club network is essential for us to improve the peace systems locally and internationally by these Peace Builder Clubs acts like hubs, acts like platforms that push peace into the community and into the world. So how can you become a Peace Builder Club, you might ask? Easy. Go to the Rotary Action Group for Peace website, rotaryactiongroup4peace.org, and read the standards. There is a tab on our website that shows you the standards and all the process of the Peace Builder Clubs. Fill out the application. You will find it there, and submit your application to the RAG for Peace organization. Submit it to at contact@rotariansforpeace.org. And I will leave this here if you want to take a screenshot, or I'll give you a few seconds to take a picture of this slide. Okay, so after you join as a Peace Builder Club, what will happen? You will be mapped on our the map that you saw, and you will become part of our Facebook group to connect with other Peace Builder Clubs and interact and share information and projects. You will be informed on the latest peace education that the RAG is offering. So for example, we have Activate Positive Peace Workbook available for you to read and learn from and share with your community. You can also learn from the Positive Peace Academy through our friends, the Institute for Economics and Peace. It's offered through them and Rotary International. And then we would love for you to subscribe to our monthly newsletters and start receiving monthly updates on peace educations, events, projects, and inspirations for peace action. And you also will be, you'll have access to the Peace Builder Club Primer, which will allow you to understand the basic steps for the first peace actions that you can take. And also following the next steps, you can, once you have the education, once you have the network, you can also start your peace projects, and you can look at the Rotary Action Group for Peace projects page to get peace projects inspiration and collaborate with other Peace Builder Clubs. And we would love for you to share with us your peace projects as they come and grow once you become Peace Builder Clubs, so we can share your inspiration with others. We would love for you to also connect with the Peace Fellows, and we will do our best to connect you through the various events and through the various opportunities that is available. And we encourage you to apply for a global grant for peace, where you can bring peace not only to your community, but also to the communities in the world that needs help. So with that in mind, I'd like to summarize the call to action and how they relate to you. So peace requires all of our participation and all of our actions and collaborations. So let's fill this map and make it populated with peace builder clubs from your district. Let's make this goal our vision for this district, and together with all of your leadership, let's make 70 Rotary clubs and all the 57 Rotary Act clubs. I was told that you have 70 clubs and 57 Rotary Act clubs. I hope those numbers are correct. In District 7030, let's turn them all into Peace Builder clubs. That would be a dream come true. And that your district could be the first district to have all the Rotary Acts and the Rotary clubs become Peace Builder clubs, and you will pioneer that milestone. So I really want you to, compete for that and collaborate for that honor. And the second call to action is to collaborate on a peace project with peace builder clubs in your district and around the world once you have this milestone of joining the peace builder clubs. I'd like to end by sharing this inspirational quote from Marianne Williamson, who said, "In every community, there is work to be done. In every nation, there are wounds to heal. In every heart, there is the power to do it." And I believe with all of your hearts, we can make this world a better place, more peaceful place. And I just feel so honored to be with you today. I'm here to answer any of your questions. Thank you so much.
Reem, thank you so much for joining us this evening and for being part of our presentation, and also for continuing to support us with Peace in District 7030. I know that you have had a long day, so I'm not sure if you would stay for the membership session that we are going into next, but I just want to say that we really look forward to your continued inspirational support and presence, and to getting those 2 actions off the ground in District 7030. So I thank you, I thank you, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being with us.
So much, Debbie. It was easier made with your help and your support throughout this journey. And I feel energized. I feel inspired by your support and love and your presence. I'm so honored and humbled by your support and presence, all of you. So thank you so much.
Thank you again. And now it is my privilege to introduce our district membership chair, Joseph Nushaya, who I have had the pleasure of working alongside with during this Rotary year on the membership committee. Rotarian Joseph Nushaya, a Suriname-born citizen of Lebanese descent, joined Rotary in 2000 as a member of the Rotary Club of Paramaribo, Suriname. Joseph was the youngest member of his club at the time of joining Rotary, and he filled a lot of positions, which eventually led to club treasurer in 2010-2012, club president from 2014 to 2016, 2 terms, assistant governor from 2017 to 2019, again 2 terms, and currently he's the district membership chair for District 7030. Joseph is a Paul Harris Fellow +5. He's married to Marguerite, who sits on our district peace committee, and they have 2 sons and 1 daughter who are currently studying abroad. When Joseph is not spending time in Rotary, he is an entrepreneur and leader of a group of companies in Suriname. The companies in the group are diverse and are in the following categories: agriculture, food and wholesale distribution, backup power generation, automotive aftermarket industry, engineering and expert services, electronic security, central station, and guard services. Speaking different languages bonds Joseph with culture and family, and he is proficient in Dutch, his native language, Taki-Taki, Surinamese patois, English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. Joseph's hobbies are hunting, camping, boating, fishing, and flying in his spare time. Beyond Rotary, Joseph is the honorary consul of Jamaica to Suriname, and he is also the president of the Aero Club of Suriname. Joe, over to you.
Thank you, Debbie. Guys, yeah, I think you saved the. Usually you say save the best for last, but I think we got the best already with the with Reem and in front of us. So it was. I must say, I got a tear in my eye listening to the stories. It was very impressive. The things that we all do makes you think why have a membership committee. In fact, we should have about 2 million more of Reem and Debbie, and for the district would probably help us quite a bit on everything we would want to accomplish and achieve within Rotary. So I have a presentation at which I would like to share with you guys. Let me start by presenting that. So we have with the membership committee, as Debbie has mentioned, she was also or is also on the membership committee, and we have we started off actually this year with our sessions at PETS and spoke about why members leave Rotary. We also spoke about attracting new members, and everybody was wary about how COVID would affect membership in the district and that we would not be able to keep our members. I mean, this was a big subject when we started this year. We had everybody in the Zoom and all the questions that came afterwards, because we were at such a period of uncertainty. We had just kicked off COVID, which started somewhere in March, and then we were in PETS not long after that. This was a very uncertain period for us, and we started in order for us to get out of the uncertainty. We said, well, let's start with creating some certainty in our membership, creating some certainty into where we want to be and where we want to go. So we had all the clubs work on a membership plan to share their goals and work out the details on how they would actually achieve them. We had great responses with your membership plans, and many of the clubs turned in a full plan and of how they would lower attrition and how would they gain quality members. This was a perfect start, I must say, and I must compliment all clubs with the fact that their membership goal was the only goal in Rotary Club Central, which was set by all clubs. I mean, all 73 clubs in the district. And I really want to thank you guys for that, for your efforts. Over the years, we've also sent mails out to the AGs, to the clubs and their boards, and we showed the progress of their achieved memberships. So the responses to that was good. And we've also seen that not all goals were achieved, but what we did see was that most of the clubs, or almost all of the clubs, really tried hard in achieving what they had set out to do. I think this is going, yeah. As you can see with this, as you can see with this presentation or with these images here, our growth is actually, or has been, or is a bit slow. But we will go further into that later into this presentation. To the left, on the left image, you see what our growth was or is, which to me it's not very ambitious when looking at that. But on the right hand, you see where we stack up to the rest of the districts in the zone. Our growth numbers, even though positive, are only incremental and really not substantial. District 7020 is leading in membership gains, and we are the second in zone 34, as you can see on that slide. But on the other hand, what you can see is that District 7020 and District 7030 are the only ones with positive gains. And we'll get into that a little bit further. Our goal for this year was set at 2,461 members, but our achievement so far is 2,314. It's always good to evaluate and tweak your goals and actions to achieve results. When evaluating, we can start by looking at our current status. What have we done so far as a district? Okay, many of the clubs made a membership plan. 73 clubs, which all entered their membership in the Rotary Club Central, and we gained one new cost-based club in the district. Okay, what does that mean? If we look at these stats, it doesn't say a lot, but when we put it into perspective, 2,314 is the highest membership count we've had in District 7030 over the past 10 years. 73 clubs is the highest number of clubs over the past 5 years. And as of April 16, 2021, 7030 is showing the lowest existing terminations in 5 years. I mean, you know, guys, what can I say? You guys did this during a pandemic, and I want all the boards, all the presidents to get a warm round of applause for achieving this, because guys, what we as humans can achieve when we put our minds to it. You know, when I took on this responsibility, I was really trying to figure out why does Rotary need membership to grow? At the beginning of this year, honestly, I didn't have the answer for you guys. But being a year further, I can take up that challenge to discuss this with you, because I really need to address that, because you all need to believe in it, and if you don't believe in it, you cannot achieve it. Why do we need membership to grow? So this is a question on each fellow's mind, and when you talk to different people, you get different answers. And to be honest, these answers are really widespread. I can give you some of the answers that I got from them. I mean, is it just another paying customer for Rotary? Are we pushing growth at all costs? Are we choosing quantity over quality? Are we not big enough yet? Should we not be looking at keeping our members instead of getting new ones? Again, we can talk all night about this subject. But the matter of fact is that if we do not grow, we will shrink at an exponential rate. We see this happening to many service clubs in the world, and we need to take care not to fall into that obsolete category. Rotary is undergoing change, and in order to adapt to the new world, if we don't adapt, we do become obsolete. Let us look at how our clubs are meeting these days, and I'm sorry for the French-speaking people in the group that not all these slides are translated in French, but I am explaining everything in English, so they will be translated by the translator. So translators, please make sure that you pass that on, and please let me know if I'm not talking too fast. Let's look at how our clubs are meeting these days. As you can see, most of them are meeting online. Now, you think, what is the effect of that? How will you be able to keep your members happy when you are only meeting online? This was this was one of the big things that when we started this year that was on people's minds. So in the past 4 weeks, has your Rotary Club met in person or mostly online? When we look at the answers, I mean, the highest number has been online. So more than 60% is online. Are members still satisfied with their memberships? We surveyed many Rotarians to find out how satisfied they are with their clubs and their memberships. And as you can see, the overall responses is very satisfied. So we are still engaging our members in doing this online. And this is a survey on more than 110,000 members. Another question that was asked was whether they would leave due to the pandemic. The answer was also very good in that they are not likely to leave due to the pandemic. Has the COVID-19 pandemic made it worse or less likely that you will remain a Rotary member for the next year? And this is from 126,000 plus responses. So over 50% will stay. I mean, it's almost 80% that says they are all most likely to remain. When drilling further down, we tried to find out if the pandemic had an adverse effect on club experience. Well, here as well, we see that there has not been a large effect on club experience. As you can see, most of them say that it has no effect on them. And in most of the responses, everybody, like, or a great deal or quite a bit, enjoyed their meetings. I must say, I think it was the only social interaction that the Rotarians had as people, because everybody was either confined home or in some type of lockdown situation or what have you not. So it was a wonderful, how shall I say, way of meeting or discussing or interacting with other people. So when we tried to see if the pandemic had actually accelerated member loss, we came to a different realization. The information used was from the membership census from 2018 to 2021. The results show an acceleration in member loss for all meeting types. The conclusion and the interpretation will baffle you. Just wait till the end. The pandemic has accelerated member loss. This was the statement or the question that was asked. And we use the information about these clubs from census. So the results show an acceleration in the membership loss of all meeting types. So at first glance, all we thought was we're losing members due to COVID. But when drilling down to the numbers, we actually saw that the members were leaving at or below historical rates, meaning that we have not worked at attracting members during the pandemic, thinking that we do not have anything to offer other than to those new members. So the statement, the pandemic has accelerated member loss, the logical interpretation would have been members are leaving due to COVID. But the actual fact is that it's wrong. The members are leaving at or below historical rates. A better title would have been the pandemic has slowed our attraction of new members. Within Rotary, we often heard that we are bad at keeping members and slowing the attrition. Basically, that we have a retention problem. So the myth is we attract about 150,000 members a year and we lose about 170,000. We're pretty good at attracting members and we're just not so good at keeping them. We have a retention problem. But the fact is, again, when drilling down with the numbers, we realize that most clubs are really good at keeping members, and or better said, most clubs that are really good at keeping their members are really awful at attracting new ones. So there's almost no correlation between retention and club growth. okay, this chart's a bit cluttered, and I don't think we have enough time for me to explain the dynamics of the chart. But there are some things that you can some takeaways that you can have in this one. It shows on the left hand side that the clubs with high attrition are also the clubs with very high attraction. And as you see, even though they lose a lot of members, they also attract a lot new members as well. But the more you go to the right, then you see that when success is in sight, we just stop our new member attraction effort. And this effect is actually found all across Rotary. So the clubs that have a very low attrition rate, the club that really keep their members, actually don't go out there to find new ones. They're really not driven to find new members or to add to the club or to grow their membership. So it's good to summarize what we've seen. Our narrative that retention is the answer has misdirected our clubs a bit. So the membership efforts of actually improving retention has no demonstrable relation to club growth, except of course in clubs with very high attrition. But those are the exception. So why is that? As clubs get better at retention, they get comfortable within their group, and they slack off sooner on attracting new members. Now, I will try to answer now the question of why Rotary needs to grow. Rotary is a membership organization. I mean, that we all know. And what is our biggest product? Our biggest product, is community service. Community service is our product. As a membership organization, the one metric of success is consistent, moderate membership growth. Short of that, we're failing. Attrition is real, no matter how you look at it. Members will leave membership organizations, but half of our attrition is beyond our control. So, meaning that you will lose members over the course of period. Which that is the main reason why you constantly need to grow. While retaining every member possible, we must execute intentional strategies that consistently attract new members at a rate exceeding our attrition rate. Not doing so will definitely refrain us from growth. So what is your task? You as a Rotarian are fighting in the front line of the army. You are fighting Rotary's biggest enemy, namely complacency. When you look up complacency in Google, as I did, because English is not my native language, you read a feeling of quiet pleasure or security, often while unaware of some potential danger or defect. If we fall in complacency, the only result will be to have a great organization to deliver service without the people to do so. Failure to grow means failure of the organization. Growth is the only path forward for Rotary. Hence, our drive to grow the organization. If we inevitably need more members in Rotary as the world population is also growing. We need members to keep delivering a high level of service. We must not think that we are the only ones that are facing this phenomenon. I mean, we are not the only membership organization in the world, and we notice other membership organizations struggling and actually failing because they are not adapting and not growing. In order for Rotary to remain relevant, we need to grow and adapt. We need to challenge each other, to find quality members, and I stress, find quality members. I do not mean quantity, because that discussion is done. We need to find quality members who share the same ideals as we do. Short of net growth as an organization, we are failing. So let me finish my presentation with a challenge with President-elect Shekhar Mehta has defied us. Before I get into this one, if you guys have any questions, please type them in the chat box in large caps, and Debbie will read them out to me, and I'll try to answer. I'll try to answer them if we get any. And if I cannot answer them, we have some great experts also in this Zoom, that like Audley and PDG Felix and PDG David, who can answer these questions. So President-elect Shekhar has left us, or defied us actually, with a challenge: bring one, keep one, and get one back. There should be no reason why any club in the district cannot achieve growth. District Governor-elect Sonia has also defied us with another challenge: 10% growth in the district. So I guess everybody's challenging you now. So as president-elects, as boards-elects, I think you guys have a lot of challenges to go through, but what is life without some challenges? So I'll add in my challenge as well. My challenge is for all the clubs in the districts which are smaller than 30, to grow past that number in order to create lasting changes in your communities and clubs. And now, if your club is 10 or 15 members, I'm not saying you need to grow them to 30 right away. If you can, please do. And you will see the positive change in that. But I mean, make a plan, make a 2-year plan, make a 3-year plan, make a 5-year plan, but just make a plan. If you don't plan to get somewhere, you'll never know that you reach there. You need to do that. So power and the ability to create change lies in the numbers. If we don't have the numbers, we will not be able to create the changes that we want to. I thank you for the attention, and depending on the time, I think we have some time, as I spoke a little bit faster than I was supposed to, I think. I hope I do not get any blowback from the translators. So we might be able to answer some of the questions. So if you cannot, if you don't get a chance to ask here in this group, or I don't get a chance to answer your question, please do not hesitate to email me at this email address. We will probably put it in the chat as well, and you can save the chat and go back to it whenever you want. Thank you for this, and if there are any questions, Debbie, maybe you can help me with that.
Joseph, we actually do not have any questions in the chat box.
Okay.
So I think you're off the hook.
Okay, great. That is good too. That's good too. Yes. All right. Then in that case, over back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Joseph. And at this point in time, I'm going to invite District Governor Lyle to take the floor.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Debs. My Rotary family, what an awesome evening we have had. And just think about it. Debbie started off by telling us about all the projects that Rotaract is doing in peace building, awesome sustainable projects. Our Rotaractors are really and truly showing us the way. So I hope we will take our timing from them. Then we had Reem, and wow, that was inspiring. So we now understand the story of the olive tree and how important that is. And I hope that you have a dream for peace, not just in District 7030, but worldwide. And you will share that dream with your clubs, with your members, with your Rotaract clubs, with your Interact clubs, and with your Early Act clubs. Reem pointed out quite clearly to us that we need to make choices in our life. Choices that will either take us down the path of peace or will not. And every act of peace is cumulative. So we will get to that peace mindset that she spoke of. Reem challenged us to get onto the social media platform campaign and to build peace builder clubs. And those peace builder clubs will become hubs to push peace into our communities. And that was truly a great challenge for all of us. Then, totally different topic, we move on to past President Joseph or past Assistant Governor Joseph. We move on to my friend Joseph. And he clearly set out for you the need to grow. And I want to reiterate that. I know we've done an awesome job this year, and we've grown already by 90 members, and I believe we will do better than that. Many of you set your goals, and we have a deficit so far of over 100 members still to grow. We still have 2 months. We still have 2 months. And it is interesting to know that worldwide, there is still a great satisfaction from our members with Rotary. People understand the pandemic, and they understand why it is we can't carry out our passion of fellowship, but they're hanging in there and they're waiting. And we're going to have one heck of a party in Barbados next year. I guarantee you that. Well, COVID permitting. So the need to grow. Sonia, District Governor-elect Sonia, has challenged you. 10% growth. So far, I have to just give you a little perspective. We've grown by 4%. And I thought we were doing really well. But 10% for next year. So Debbie and Joseph, I just want to say a huge thank you. And Reem, my goodness, heart-jerking stuff, but stuff that really makes you think about peace. It should make you stop and realize how lucky we are in this part of the world. When people want to go and migrate to other places, think about it. Think about how other people have to live. And let us be a part of the movement to bring peace, not just to our district, but to be a part of the movement to bring peace to the world. Paul Harris believed we could do it. He believed we could do it. And he was visionary in many ways. And we too, Debbie and her team, truly believe that we can do it. So Debbie, thank you so much. I think I now pass back over to my co-host and my partner in crime over here, past District Governor Albert, who is doing an amazing job. Past President Albert, oh, don't worry, perhaps that's prophetic.
I hope that wasn't a Freudian slip. Past President is fine, I'll take that one. Thank you, District Governor Lyle, for bringing an end to such a touching evening today, perhaps the most touching evening that we've had so far in these pre-conference sessions. Truly, it is impossible to leave this session today without being touched in your heart, which is where Rotarians should all be invigorated and revived in the spirit of Rotary. And I remind all of our participants that District Governor Lyle is coming to you live from Conference Central here in St. Lucia in this hybrid format for the district conference. District 7030 is showing you what the shape of things to come will be. Pretty soon, our Rotary meetings will be in this hybrid format. Some of us sitting together face-to-face, others joining remotely. So there, you've heard it first, a District Conference 7030 from our District Governor. And on that note, I just want to, as we say, give a shout out to some of the clubs that joined us tonight. the Rotary Club of St. Augustine in Trinidad. And if your video is on, please give us a big wave so we can identify you. The Rotary Club of Kourou in French Guiana, Rotary Club of Pinal, Rotary Club of Fort-de-France West, Rotary Club of Guadeloupe, Rotary Club of Princestown, Rotary Club of Barbados South, Rotary Club of Antigua, Rotary Club of St. Kitts, Rotary Club of Demerara, Guyana, Rotary Club of Paramaribo, Suriname, Rotary Club of Aruba, and the Herring Conference Central. I hope the camera is on them. We have the Rotary Club of Groseilliers. I'm not seeing any hands waving from the Rotary Club of Groseilliers, the Rotary Club of St. Lucia, and the Rotary Club of St. Lucia Sunset, all here present in Conference Central. So before we leave, I just want to remind you, please download the Rotary application. It's available both for Android and Apple devices. You'll see the entire schedule. You can connect with other participants who are registered. You can see the speakers and you can see the speaker's bio, and prepare for our 4th and final session in this pre-conference series tomorrow, where we will be looking at Rotary, District 7030, and the environment. I thank you all for joining us today, and see you tomorrow at 6 p.m.